those worried blues. Lord, I got those worried blues. I got those worried blues. I got those worried blues. Lord, I'm going where I've never been before. Chickity bada boom, chickity poony poony boom, chickity boom bada boom, chickity boom boom, chickity boom bada boom, chickity boom boom boom. Beep boodly beep bap boop bap boodly boop. Beep boodly beep bap boodly boodly bap. Mike's Music Method. Come on in, y'all. Woo. We're doing another classic Bob Dylan song, Worried Man. No. Come on in, y'all. We're doing another classic Bob Dylan song called Worried Blues. This song was sponsored by none other than, is it Benjamin or Ben? Benjamin Klein. Thank you for sponsoring the song. Go to the website, mikesmusicmethod.com. If you would like to sponsor a song, more on that later. All this early Dylan stuff is so beautiful. There's something like really nostalgic about it. Awesome guitar playing. Really cool stuff. It's just a great song. I will admit that the song flow, there's so many verses and they're all subtly like different. So it gets pretty frustrating if you want to get it exact, but I think you guys will get like the main flow and feel where it'll like feel good and you can kind of piece it together how you want to. But it's pretty nuanced and can be frustrating to try and get it exact, and that's what I do. So I got pretty frustrated, but know that it isn't all that complicated. You don't have to do all this like slight nuanced stuff. You can basically just repeat the same stuff, and it'll be fine. Let's dive right in. Nothing else to say. Check out the Travis Picking playlist. If you're new here, this is not a beginner song. Not super complicated, though. So as long as you got some picking chops under your belt, you should be able to do it. Maybe not to speed, but you can always do it slower. Dylan plays this song fast. I apologize. I have a ridiculously terrible head cold, and but I'm still bringing you the song, trying my best. I put a smile on, but in between all my takes, I promise you I was grimacing and getting annoyed with myself because I cannot think clearly, and I'm messing things up, and some takes I had to do a ridiculous amount of times. And next time, just nap. You know, when you're feeling like crap, I don't know, but sometimes it does work to power through. But other times you just got to take the nap, you know? I should have took the nap and sat this one out. But it's good quality, so I'm bringing it to you. It's going to be great. No further ado, Bob Dylan, I don't even know the name of the song, Worried Blues. I have to keep looking. My brain. All right, let's do it. Boom, hello. Now that I'm healthy and I can think more clearly, I've decided to have two downloads for this song. One is the usual tab. The other one is going to be the lyrics and the chord chart with the song flow and like the measures associated with each section. So that way it's easier to follow. I know it's confusing. There's a lot of different parts, but if you just follow along with the chords on that chord chart download, the whole thing should be way more straightforward and simple because basically you're just following along with the chord changes. So you'll use the tab to get all the parts, and then use the chord chart so you can follow along with the proper changes, and that's it. A note down below, timestamps are your best friend. I'm catering to people of all different skill levels, so if I'm too slow, use the timestamps to jump ahead. If I am too quick, simply backpedal. Measure one, a nice good close-up here of this video. We got this cool pickup beat, so there is no beat one. Capo's on 3, and we have kind of like a C chord with a G in the bass. But honestly, he's only playing this 3rd fret here and the 2nd fret on the 4th string. So a G and an E here. And you got beat 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and I'll show you how we do that. So we got that C/G. We don't even need our pointer finger. You can put it down if you want, if it helps you memorize it better. But it's 6, 3, so thumb, pointer. Then the thumb goes to the 4th string. Then we have open on the 1st string. And I'm using my middle finger, so I'm doing thumb on 6, pointer on 3rd, thumb on 4th, middle on the 1st. Pretty common pattern, but then he switches the chord, and it's implying like a G chord, right, with the B in the bass, but he's just hitting that 5th string, 2nd fret, and then open on then the 3rd string with his pointer finger. So 3, so there's no one beat, so it's like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and bijou. Then we cruise through the rest of this intro. It's all just a C chord. Pretty standard Dylan pattern. Thumb on the 5, pointer finger goes on the 2nd string, thumb on 4, then I do the middle finger on the 1st string. Dylan might be going back and forth with just the pointer, but I recommend getting strong with both of them for lots of reasons, right? If we want to play more complex stuff later, it's good to be able to do both. So 5, 2, 4, 1. Then you can fret the big C chord the whole time, where you're just moving that ring finger up and your pinky is on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Or you can walk this ring finger. Again, I can kind of do both. It's good to be able to do them both ways. In this song, it doesn't really matter because he's not really utilizing the pinky at this moment. So that's normally why you'd walk it, so that your pinky still has that freedom. But it's way easier to do it this way, and if I'm just like strumming or picking where I don't have any fills, then I do it the big way. So your call. But let me finish that measure so that, yeah, we got 6th string, but then still the 2nd string, then back to the 4th with the thumb, and then still the 1st string. So all that changes is that bass note. Then I'll loop it again here. We got the whole intro, but we're going to look at measure 3 real quick, because for some reason he does it consecutively, so I'm pretty sure he's conscious of it. So measure 3, we have 5, 2, 3. So then the thumb jumps to the 3rd string there. He's hitting a different bass note. Then he goes to 6, 2, 4, 1. So the strings in that measure are 5, 2, 3, 1, 6, 2, 4, 1. In other words, your thumb pattern is 5, 3, 6, 4. So we're jumping around a lot, right? We got four different strings there to think about. Then in measure 4, he goes back to the standard way that was the same as 2, where the thumb's just doing a 5, 4, 6, 4 with that same pattern. And then measure 5 is back to measure 3, where he does 5, 3, 6, 4. Subtle distinction, but it's in there, and Dylan is consistent with it on that intro. So I think it was a deliberate choice, not just like a flub or a random thing. But now that we did it, let's put that whole intro together. I think you got it. 2, 3, 4, rest. The intro going. All right, the verse, we're going to cruise through a lot of it because we already know the pattern. So right here in measure 6, remember, free tabs, mikesmusicmethod.com. All the tabs are free to download. What a dude. So go download your tab. It's easier to follow along, I think, because I'm only giving you one at a time, and you're going to want the whole thing. It's helpful to have it printed out right next to you. So we have the same thing that we did in measure 2 and 4, where it's just 5. Now, on that C chord, the strings are 5, 2, 4, 1, 6, 2, 4, 1. It's that same right-hand pattern. Right, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. And he does that 3 times. If you guys want to sponsor videos, visit mikesmusicmethod.com. You can sponsor your own song. That helps me guide the channel. I have like 200 songs on the list of songs to tutorial. So if you guys chip in some coin, I know which songs to tackle next and bring to y'all. So we'll do it with the words from 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got them worried blues. Then in measure 10 here, we go to an F chord, and it is pretty straightforward. Thumb on 6, pointer on the 2nd string, thumb on the 4th. Oh, and I'm doing an F chord. As always, boop, that damn F chord. Our bar chords are overrated. There's lots of ways to fret this F chord. I recommend the thumb over the top, or at least the Leonard Cohen method, because you're going to need your pinky later on. We don't need it in this measure, so if you wanted to do a standard F, you could. That's fine. But we've got 6, 2, 4, so thumb, pointer, thumb, and then it's 6, 3, 4, thumb, pointer, thumb. So that whole measure, 3, 4. Pretty straightforward. Next measure is kind of cool. Measure 11 starts with an F chord, 6, 3, 4, 2, and I'm doing thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. Then we have this weird idea where he lifts the thumb and hits it with his thumb. So we got open on the 6th string and then pointer on the 3rd string. Then he puts the thumb back down and hits the 1st fret, but then he lifts. And I don't know if he's just changing chords there, but he lifts and gets open on the 3rd string. So the ending is 6th string open, 2nd fret on the G string, then 1st fret on that low E, and then open on the G string. And he's holding the chord down, so it looks like this. Then you lift it at the end. Real goofy sounding, but when it's up to speed, it's a really cool, has a cool like bass line feel to it. So from the beginning of that measure, 3, 4. One more time, 3, 4. Yeah, lifting that chord at the last second there. Whew. All right, measure 12. So this is called ending 1. It's how he first ends the verse, then we'll repeat back to the beginning of the verse and have a second ending for the second half of the verse. Simple enough, ending 1 and ending 2. So here we are in measure 12. It's a G chord. Sorry, I take that back. It's a C chord with a G in the bass. So like the first chord we opened the song with on that little intro part. And we're doing, again, so play your normal C chord and simply move your ring finger up to the 3rd fret. That's it. And here we do need that 1st finger, unlike the intro. And we're going to do, so we got thumb on 6, pointer on 3, thumb on 4. Then we do that again, but then we end with a middle finger on the 2nd string. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and is the rhythm. Measure 13, really similar. Except I do open on the 1st string instead of hitting the 2nd string. Nice. And then 14's a little different. We've got 6, 4, 3. Sorry, 6, 3, 4, 3. So the pointer does extra duty there. Thumb, pointer, pointer. It's the first half of the measure. Then the second half of the measure is thumb on the 6th, then we do the middle finger on the 2nd string, and then the 4th string, and right back to the 2nd. So we got this play going on, 2 of the 3rd strings, 2 of the 2nd strings. And he's just playing with the pattern. You know, every verse is probably a little different. I didn't get too obsessed because it's not like a fancy melodic run. He's just varying up his pattern a little bit to give it more interest and more dynamic. All right, we'll keep going on measure 15. It's an F chord. This one is very weird. And here's almost where you have to do the thumb over the top F chord. There's probably some workaround, and you could ignore this note if this is too complicated. Don't worry. It's not like you're ruining the song or it makes a huge difference. But it's really cool, and I haven't come across this in a folk song yet. Where he's on the F chord, but he hits the A first. He's hitting the open A, and it makes that F kind of off balance and gives it a really cool, it's more emotional and not as certain as just like going to that 4 chord, you know? Kind of more of an emotional song. So he has the whole chord down with his thumb over the top, but he's hitting that open A. And it's also an F major 7 because he has that open E on top. So you notice I'm not barring this first finger because I'm playing that open. So I just have 1, 2, 3 on the B string, the G and the D, and then my thumb's over the top. And I know it's hard to get those to ring open. You gotta be on the right kind of guitar, you gotta have a certain shaped hand, and even when all that's lined up, it's still difficult to do. So be patient with yourself, and if it hurts, just go to a different shape, and you don't have to play the open. You can just play it like a whole F chord. Not gonna be the end of the world. All right, but how Dylan is doing it is 5, 2, then thumb on 4. Then the second half of the measure is 6, 2, 4, then the first string, and it's open. 6, 2, 4, 1, 6, 2, 4, 1. So the whole measure, 3, 4. Really dreamy and cool. I love it. 17, we'll finish the first ending on the verse, and then we'll put some lyrics in place so you guys can kind of feel it out. Fairly easy. Sorry, 16 first. 16 is just a G chord, We are going to have our pinky down. We'll need it in a second. Just 6, 3, 4, 6, 3, 4. That's it. Thumb, pointer, thumb. Then measure 17 is thumb, pointer, thumb, and then we do the top string. So the strings are 6, 3, 4, 1, 6, 3, 4. So if I put those last two together, 16, 17, 3, 4. Yeah. Measure 6, let's go from the verse nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got them worried blues. I got them worried blues. I got them worried blues. Yeah, that F part is really cool, and that little walk with the bass note. I'm still learning it with you guys. Really cool. It's frickin' Dylan. That's why we love him, right? The subtle stuff, the pathos of the tune. So solid. So then we would jump back for another run of the verse, right? The second stanza of that first verse, and that would be measure 6 in the tab. And then when you get to 9, 10, 11, instead of doing the first ending, you're going to jump to the second ending, which is measure 18. And we can do this, guys. So now we're on that C/G again, right? C chord, bring that ring finger up. There, he's just hitting the first string both times of it. So 6, 3, 4, 1, 6, 3, 4, 1. Next measure, 19, is 6, 3, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4, 3. So he's playing with the melody notes there. Let's do it from 18. 3, 4. First string again, then the second string, then it's back to the third. Nice. Then here, again, we go to that goofy F. And we're doing thumb on 5, open, then the fourth string, so 5, 4, then right to the first string here, different than last time. 5, 4, 1. Then the second half of the measure is 6, 3, 4. And then, I don't know, I'm kind of hearing both notes, or I messed up my tab. I'll have to re-listen. I think he's just brushing the top two. Yeah, he's just hitting more, kind of brushing it up. I'm best at brushing with my pointer finger. Brush with my middle too, but just not as precisely. And then we got measure 21 is a G7. Oh yeah, I remember he does brush for sure. All right, so here we have a G7. I'm doing 6, 3, 4, brushing the top two. Right, I got the first fret down there. Oop, sorry, it's a G7, no middle finger down. And then at that last beat, he's anticipating the C chord. So let's do that again. 6, 3, 4, brush the top two. And then I'm doing 6, 3, 4. And then I'm bringing my pointer finger up to that note C, right? The first fret of the B string. And I'm brushing those two. So it's open with 1. And so that just happens at the end where we got this, and it goes to that. Just that pointer finger is going up one string there. 3, 4. Cool. And then you keep that first finger down, because in 22 here he goes right to the C chord. And then he puts the G in the bass. And that's 5, 3, 4, 1. And the second half is 6, right, moving that ring finger up. 6, 3, 4, 1. Kind of like the intro. And then measure 23 back to 5, 3, 4, 1, 6, 3, 4. No and beat there. So let's go from 21, put those last three together. 2, 3, 4. You gotta let that ring out when you transfer to the C chord.
My turn. Donation pitch. Guys, you know I put a ridiculous amount of time into getting the best tabs on the internet for these songs. I do super detailed lessons on them, and so it's a value for value model. Not only am I bringing these great tabs, but I'm bringing them for free, but they're not free on my end. So please contribute. The more that you guys give, you're buying me more time to make more videos. So your donation, think of it as like a charitable gift. The more you give, the more time I'm able to put into the channel to bring you more tutorials. So please consider, guys, this is an amazing thing we're doing here at Mike's Music Method, bringing these. I get so many emails and comments about how people are learning from the channel, so please help support it. Monthly support, one-time support. All the links are in the description down below the video, or just go to mikesmusicmethod.com.
Let's sing it now, second ending, so we'll take it from measure 6 and then jump to the second ending here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got this worried blues, Lord, I'm going where I've never been before. You can practice it even slower. Remember, timestamps down below. Jump to the end where I do slow run-throughs. It's pretty darn hard to sing it slow and play it and like keep it all in your head. But that's the idea. If you need it slower, go to the slow runs at the end, and you can always go to the YouTube playback speed, drop it to 0.75. But also don't forget you can click on custom and drop it to like 0.9 so it's not too tediously slow, and find that speed that is right for you. Now, I know the tab keeps going, but congratulate yourself. You pretty much did the whole song. So when he does that Worried Man, he has that long C at the beginning. But check out this next verse here. He interrupts it with that typical blues where you throw in like a quick 4 before you go back to the 1. So measure 25, we have that same C. 5, 2, 4, 1, 6, 2, 4, 1. But then it's interrupted by an F chord. And here it's an F major 7. Again, it's that one with the thumb over the top. But he actually, I am hearing the 3rd fret here, so now I'm a little confused. I'm not hearing that open A. He doesn't make it that wonky. He's playing the F more stable. So a couple ways to think about it. I'm doing it with the thumb over the top, but I'm also playing this 5th string. So instead of doing that, this ring finger goes up, and now my pinky covers the 4th string. But you still want this high one to be open. So open 1, 2, then 3 with my pinky, then 3 with my ring, and then my thumb's over the top. That's how I'm doing it. So 26, I'm hearing 5, 2, 3, thumb, pointer, thumb, and then 6, 2, 3, 1. That's thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. So 3, 4. Really pretty. Then right back to the C. There's no extra beat on the 4, just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4. So 27 and 28 were the same. 29, he goes back to the F. And that we've seen before. That's a repeat of the previous F material where we had that weird walk. And then in measure 30, we have the C/G, and that's pretty much the same. 6, 3, 4, 1, 6, 3, 4, 2. Right? Maybe a different pattern, but same concept. And then here's where it gets a little tricky in 32. We have 6, 3, 4, 1, 6, 3, 4, 3. Right? We've seen that before. And that's simple enough. But you're going to lift your hand. And after you hit that open, we're hammering into an F chord. And we're only hearing this, we're just hearing the open to the 2. But we're actually going to hammer the entire chord because we're also going to use our thumb to hit the 6th string the same time that we hammer. Right, so I'm hammering that one, but the moment I hammer, I'm also hitting this 6th string. But instead of just doing these two, we're going to get the whole chord ready so we don't have to think of all this extra stuff. So you might just practice that for a long time. The moment I'm hammering, I'm also hitting my thumb on the 6th string. And your brain's not going to like that, because you're like, wait, the noise is being produced on the 3rd string. Why am I hammering a different one? Yeah, it's a really cool idea. And then that takes us into 33. We go, after that hammer in the thumb, we go right to the 2nd string. Then back to the 4th, and then open on the 1st. 3, 4. 3, 4. It's going to be tricky, I know. 4. And then that measure ends 6, 2, 4, and back to open. So easy enough ending. So we'll keep doing it from that hammer on. If you already got it, jump ahead, but let's do a few slow here. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Yeah, you'll get it. Take it slow. It might take a few weeks. You got it. You got it. I know you got it. You got it. We are on measure 34. We're going to do the first ending of this 2nd verse here. It's just a G chord. 6, 4, 3, 1. And that's that 3 up top. And it does it again. Does it again. And then he lifts it at the very end. So that's actually measure 34 and 35. 6, 4. Sorry. 6, 3, 4, 1. 6, 3, 4, 1. We lift it at the end and play open on that 1st string. Then we'd play through another stanza of that 2nd verse, and it has that quick F in there, so basically you're repeating from measure 25, but then when you get to 33, instead of doing the first ending, you are jumping to measure 3, 4, 5, 6. I still can't count groups of 4. So measure 36, it's just a different ending for the 2nd stanza. Pretty similar, we've got a G7 chord, 6, 3, 4, 1. So I'm just playing a different melody note. And then 6, 3, 4, 1 again, but now it's open on that E string. 1st string and 1st string again, but it's open. And then he goes to a C chord here in 37. And puts the G in the bass. And we've seen that pattern 100 times. So one more time from 36. 3, 4. All right, here in the song is where things get goofy. We only have one more part, but the song flow is really weird. So you're going to have to experiment and sing it in different ways because it's pretty darn hard to track. The first verse, we started at measure 6 in the tab, and that was the whole I Got Those Worried Blues. And then we did that 2nd verse, which was different enough to kind of write out, right? It had different endings, and that started at 41 in the tab. And that was I'm going where the chilly winds don't blow, all the way to where I'm going where the climate suits my clothes. Now, when we get to the Honey Babe verse, he actually goes back to the 1st verse, which starts in 6. But the only difference is he's still going to that quick F at the beginning, which I don't have written down. I'll put that even further down below in the tab, actually. So, all the following verses will be like the 1st verse, with the exception of it going to that quick F at the beginning, right? Honey, baby, don't leave me now. Right? He doesn't do that when he sings the I Got the Worried Blues part, which he does go back to later. But then, when he goes back to the Honey Babe verse, it's different. So I made a note in measure 39 here. It actually goes back to the 1st verse guitar part with ending 1 and ending 2. So measure 5 or 6 or wherever that verse starts. But he does have that quick F in there. So you're replacing measure 7 with 26. Honey, babe, don't leave me now. So that measure 7 replaces 26 just in the sense that there's that quick F interruption. But otherwise it's all through the 1st verse. And to make it even more confusing, right, this is the nuances of folk music. When he gets to that listen to that cold whistle blow line, And it's 1:48 in the song, so it's like the second or third time he sings it, he goes to an A minor. So it's a totally new chord, and let me show you that part. That C's all the same. Sorry, this is measure 41 in the tab, and the C's the same as we've seen it before. Then it goes to a quick F, and then right back to the C, and then it's an A minor, and then he finishes the verse like normal. And that A minor part going from 44, you got regular A minor, thumb on 5, pointer finger on 2, thumb on 4, middle finger on 1, and that repeats. Or sorry, no it doesn't. Then it's a 6 string with your thumb. So the thumb is 5, 4, 6, 4, and you're always going back and forth between the B string and the E. In quick note, it actually happens at 1:52 in the song. Listen to that cold whistle blow. Just a weird little pause, an A minor interruption. Why did Dylan put it in there? Don't know. One of the mysteries. Then, finally, we go back to the Worried Blues, which is the first stanza, and we do it again. And here, we do the normal top verse, measure 6, but now without the Fs, just like normally how you played it the first time in the song. And the last 4 bars, let's do the coda here. We got the Worried Blues verse, and then instead of the second ending, we have this final coda, which is measure 49 here in the tab, and it's the C chord with the G in the bass. So let's do that from 49, 6, 3, 4, and then I'm brushing the top 2, 6, 3, 4, brush the top 2, and he does that 3 times in a row. Then here it's just 6, 3, 4, 3. We've seen that little move before. And it's the F with the A in the bass here in 51. We've got 5, 3, 4, strum the top 2, 6, 3, 4, strum the top 2. Measure 52 is a G7 chord. We've seen this trick before, where he moves that G7 up a string set. It's 6, 4, 3, brush the top 2, 6, 3, 4, brush the top 2, 6, 3, 4, brush the top 2, but he moves that first finger up. Again, don't lift all that stuff. I'm going to exaggerating the movement here. I'm just bringing it right down into a C chord. And then ends on a C chord, but we got the pinky down on the 3rd fret of that first string. And it's 6, 3, 4, brush the top 2, 6, 3, 4, brush the top 2. Then he just kind of slows it down. So the whole coda from 49, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you did it. Yeah. Slow run. Let's do just the whole first page of the tab. We got the intro, the verse with first and second ending. 1. Remember, it comes in on beat 2, so we got a pickup of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Singing. Then to the F here.
Now let's do the second verse because it's a little bit different. That's for measure 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the goofy part with the cold whistle blow. It's measure 41 to 45, and then it jumps to 25 to 28, and then to measure 20. So again, it's very confusing, but once you get the chord changes down, like I said, you're better off just looking at the lyrics and the chord chart, which I have as a separate download, as I mentioned earlier, and that'll just be so much clearer to follow along with the chords, because this is pretty goofy to jump around. But we are going to try it. We're going to start on 41. 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen to that cold whistle blow. To the A minor. Then we go all the way to 25. I'm going where I've never gone before. Then we go all the way to, what did I say, 20, 3, 4. So the chord changes are nothing new, but it is a totally different order than elsewhere in the song, so pay careful attention to that. Go through it slow. I know you can do it. Let's tackle the coda here and measure 49, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it. Word blues. Whoop, boop, 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 whoop. Did you hear that? I got my snare drum to whoop, 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 whoop. I'm going to break my glass windows. You want to watch me do it? Whoop.